Hey, what's happening, Disney viewers? Me, the Guy01, and welcome to this week's first episode on Walkthrough Channel. This week, it's Bray Wyatt against Sycho Sid. So it is our weekly. We had a few birthdays this past week, but that is not why we are doing this matchup. So we'll get through the birthdays first, then we'll get into this matchup. So, Great Khali's birthday was August 27th. He turned 52. Jeff Hardy's birthday. August is today, August 31st. He turns 47, and also having the birthday today is Mickie James, who turns 45. Did I say Jeff Hardy was turning 37? I meant 47. I think I said 47, but I'm not sure now. So the reason we are doing this matchup is because this past week marked the 1-year anniversary of Bray Wyatt's passing, back in 2023. And then this past week, we also had the passing of Sycho Sid, Sid Vicious, Sid Justice, whoever you know him, who passed away on August 26th at the age of 64 after a battle with cancer. So that is why we're doing Wyatt versus Sid. So, anniversary of a passing, and then a passing that just happened, of course. And I actually had to go and download both a Bray Wyatt and a Sycho Sid to do this, because there is no, I think I said this last year, it was either for Wyatt's birthday or last year when he first passed, but Bray Wyatt is not in this game at all, at least in the base version. I think you have to download, like, I think The Fiend is part of DLC, but Bray Wyatt is not in the base game. And then, yeah, Sycho Sid's not in it at all. Again, he might have been DLC, but I don't remember. But yeah, it's weird that they're not in it. And I don't know if you guys can tell, but it is currently thundering outside. It's been a severe thunderstorm for the past half hour now. I don't know how well you guys can hear it, or if you can even hear it at all. So hopefully that's not too distracting. The master and ruler of the world, and really the inventor of the powerbomb, or maybe not the inventor of it, but the guy who made it famous in the US. You know, people often, joke about Sycho Sid and how he wasn't really a great talker, and, pointing out all his flubs on the mic, but you know what, I think that was part of his charm. I mean, you could go in the ring and, he was imposing. I mean, a big dude who, really didn't have a problem with, taking a bump. I mean, he would take a beating. He wasn't just a guy who was who refused to look weak. I mean, he would lose. I mean, he would lose to Undertaker, Hogan, a lot of people. And a fun statistic about Sid, actually, is he only ever wrestled at WrestleMania twice, and both times were in the main event in a world title match. So I think that's a record that only he holds. I don't think no one else has only wrestled in the main event of WrestleMania. I think that's his own personal record. Good luck with trying to break that, too. Yeah, there we go. Oh, no. Ow. So beginning with Raw, the Judgment Day beat the LWO. Ow. Hey, get off me. After the match, Rhea Ripley and Damian Priest took out JD McDonough and Carlito to get that last little bit of hype built up before their match against Dominic Mysterio and Liv Morgan at Bash in Berlin, which is today. Io Sky and Kairi Sane beat Shayna Baszler and Zoe Stark with some assistance from Zelina Vega, who took out Sonya Deville at ringside. So yeah, I guess Sky and Sane are good guys now. I don't know if that's supposed to be the case for all of Damage Control, but it seems to be that's the way they're going with it. And then Stark, Baszler, and Deville are the bad guys. And what was their name? Pure Fusion Connection something? Yeah, that's a terrible... Excuse me, that's a terrible name. I don't know who came up with that or why they thought that was a good idea or good name. Like, no, I'm not calling them that. I can't even remember it. CM Punk confronted Drew McIntyre one last time before their strap match at Bash of Berlin. This led to a brawl between the two of them, which was then broken up by security. You know, your standard pull-apart brawl. You know, we've been seeing this, you know, altercation, or not altercation, but confrontation, past few weeks now, so, you know, they're just trying to build up that last little bit of hype. I feel like there was something more they could have done here, though, instead of just another brawl. Jey Uso beat Karrion Kross and Kofi Kingston in order to advance in the Intercontinental Championship tournament to determine the new #1 contender for the Intercontinental title. Did he dive? No. Okay. I don't know. This is a custom, so I don't know if they gave him some crazy moves. Ooh. No. Oh yeah. So yeah, Karrion Kross, I don't know what WWE is doing with him. I mean, he's been feuding with the New Day for the last, 2 months now? I don't think he's won a meaningful match since his return, or since he's formed this new group with the Authors of Pain. So I don't know what they're doing with him.
This is what you call...
Oh, he hopped up there. Bronson Reed faced Braun Strowman in a match that immediately went to the outside. And when I say outside, I mean they went outside of the arena into a parking lot, where Braun Strowman then got set on the roof of a car, which Bronson Reed then splashed him through, destroying the car and blowing out all the windows, and a really cool visual. So the match itself was a no contest, but, you know, this wasn't about the match or wins or losses. This was about making Reed look good, which it did that. Even though Braun Strowman himself hasn't really been a legitimate threat recently, I feel like. I mean, I feel like ever since he lost to Roman Reigns back in like 2020, he just hasn't had that same, you know, aura or, you know, legitimacy that he had back in like 2016, 2017. So while Reed, you know, destroying him and getting this, you know, cool moment was, you know, helpful and will help, you know, legitimize him, I feel like if that was done to the Braun Strowman of 2016, 2017, 2018, it would have meant a little more. Holy crap, Bray. Holy crap. Oh. Pete Dunne beat The Miz and Xavier Woods to advance in the Intercontinental title tournament. So I guess that means it's going to be Jey Uso versus Pete Dunne. Which, you know, that could really go either way. It'll be interesting. I can't remember if there's more matches to it or if it's just like a, you know, a 2-match thing. So I don't know who the next match is. I forget who it is. But yeah, between Pete and Jay, that could legit go a couple of ways. You know, we know WWE is still pretty high on Jay, even though recently they've kind of not been really doing anything with him. But then they're also really high on Pete, and you know that's, you know, he's one of Triple H's guys, so, you know, we'll have to see who they decide to go with for that. And then, of course, you start wondering, who would be a good fit against Braun Breaker. And again, I think really either one of them could be a good fit. I think Pete might be able to tell a better story with like the whole that whole David and Goliath story than you could get out of Jay. I think either one of them could put on a good match with Braun. And in the main event was Uncle Howdy facing Chad Gable. During the match, the Wyatt Six came out and took out the Creed brothers and Ivy Nile, which allowed Uncle Howdy to get the win over Chad Gable. The match itself was really just, it wasn't going to be a mat classic, even though it probably could have been, since you've got Chad Gable in there, but this was really more about establishing Uncle Howdy as a character from an in-ring standpoint, and really, paying tribute to Bray and also Luke Harper. And Bo did a great job of doing that while also, not just like being like an impersonation of his brother. So it was a really cool, just fun match. And I believe I saw something that was like, this was Bo Dallas's first match in WWE in like 3 years. Or it was either his first match in 3 years or it was 3 years since he got released. Because I think he was part of that mass layoff back during the pandemic, where a bunch of people got released. Because he's not in this game either. Because I don't think he was signed with the company when this game came out. Which, again, it's crazy how much things change in a year. Moving on to SmackDown. SmackDown was, your traditional go-home show before the pay-per-view. Now, with that said, there were some surprisingly big matches, and some hard-hitting matches as well. LA Knight beat Ludwig Kaiser to retain the United States Championship. That was a match that I honestly could have expected, or, would have expected to happen at the pay-per-view. And I know, premium live event, I'm always going to say pay-per-view, sorry. Especially since it's Kaiser's home country of Germany, and that definitely had an effect on this match. Even though, LA Knight never got booed, Kaiser was the hometown hero, so he got cheered quite a bit during the match. So, if they put that on the actual premium live event, there you go, in his home country of Germany, I think a lot more people would have actually bought the possibility of LA Knight losing the title, because, yeah, there was no chance he was going to lose it on SmackDown. Not this quickly. Angel Garza and Humberto Carrillo beat Apollo Crews and Baron Corbin in the 10th time they face each other now. Yeah, I don't know why they keep going back to this match. I mean, they tried to switch it up with like throwing in a singles match involving, these four every now and then. But yeah, it's just like, come on, let's move on here. Yeah. Look at Bray posing. Yeah, whoever made this custom Bray did not go into the taunts at all. Speaking of matches that WWE keep going back to, Carmelo Hayes beat Andrade Cien Almas. Now this matchup is a bit more forgivable for them to keep going back to, because it's two rising stars. Even though Almas is very much a veteran, he's still not at that like main event level in WWE, or really even mid-card champion level just yet, but he could very easily get to that point. And I think that's part of this. And every match they have is different, unlike the Cruz, Corbin, Garza, Carrillo matches that we've been seeing for the past couple months now. Hayes and Almas are able to have an interesting match every single time. and now they're even at 2 apiece, 2 wins apiece. So, and I'm glad that they actually acknowledge that, you know, how many wins each one of them has over each other, because it kind of makes sense to why they're continuing it. Each one of them is basically just trying to do like a best of 5 kind of thing, where each one is trying to get more wins over the other one than the other. And that's like the reason for continuing to go back on it, basically to show who really is the best by keep going after each other. And again, this was a match that I could have easily seen as like a pre-show or one of the opening matches at Bash in Berlin. I mean, it was definitely a pay-per-view quality match. But maybe they're saving the tiebreaker for the next Premium Live event, which would make sense. And in the main event, Nia Jax faced Mia Yim in a street fight for the WWE Women's Championship. After Mia Yim seemingly took out Jax for good, Tiffany Stratton ran out with the Money in the Bank briefcase and seemingly looked like she was going to cash in, until Nia woke up and saw Tiffany standing over her with the briefcase and basically went, "What are you doing?" Tiffany then went back on her decision and instead attacked Mia Yim with the briefcase, trying to cover her attempted betrayal of Nia. This then led to Bayley making her return to TV, coming out and taking out Tiffany Stratton, assisting Mia Yim. But it didn't work, as Nia Jax pinned Mia Yim after hitting her bonsai drop, while Mia Yim had a trash can over her head to retain the title. Afterwards, Nia Jax continued to attack Mia Yim, who still had the trash can over her, and yeah, Nia was like destroying her, like throwing trash can lids at her, beating her with a kendo stick, again, all while she has the trash can over her. I mean, it looks pretty brutal a couple times. So yeah, surprisingly, some important matches on SmackDown this week, considering that it's the go-home show. Man, they really highlighted the eyes. Alright, so that does it for me. Hope you guys enjoyed this video. Make sure to like, comment, subscribe, and make videos all the time. Stay tuned for next week's Versus and next week, where we continue our Disney Infinity 2.0 walkthrough. Hope you guys enjoyed this video. Let me know what you guys thought of Raw and SmackDown this past week, and what are your predictions for Bash in Berlin. And what are some of your favorite Bray Wyatt and Sycho Sid memories? Of course, everyone's going to probably bring up the Shockmaster thing for Sid, or even though that wasn't really a Sid moment, he was there. Or the "I have half the brain that you do" promo. Sid. Again, wasn't the best talker, but I think that was part of the charm. Alright, hope you guys enjoyed. Guy01 and Bray Wyatt signing out. Bye, guys.